Welcome to NRP On Demand. One of the biggest things that the government did do to support business during this era is to be anti-labor union or anti-worker. This is accomplished in several different ways. The first was through fostering an open immigration policy. In this era, immigrants tended to come over. They were poor, they tended to be uneducated, they tended to have very few skills. This means that they fed into the cheap labor supply, which was needed in this industrialized world. They tended to be very, like I said, unskilled, and they tended to work cheaply, and the factory owners would use immigrants rather than pay the white working class worker a higher wage. If you increase the supply of labor, you're going to keep the wages low. So increased supply, demand stays the same, wages go down. The only exception to this, of course, was the Chinese due to racism. The Chinese Exclusion Act was passed in the 1880s in order to keep the Chinese out. Another way that the government helped to promote anti-labor policy was through the actual physical violence against labor unions. If a labor union during the 1880s and 90s, even into the 1900s, went on strike, typically the government would side with the management and oftentimes would actually send the military to break up strikes. Imagine that. The American military used against American workers. They would jail the strikers. Sometimes they would even open fire on them, killing some. Lastly, the government did have tariffs. However, remember that the tariffs did not support the workers. They were there to support the business. And while the workers' jobs were protected, the tariff artificially inflates prices. So they did not actually benefit as consumers because the prices were higher than they should have been if the market invisible hand of the market was actually in place.
Thank you for joining us with this NRP On Demand broadcast. For more information on the National Reconstitution Project, our mission, or the projects, please visit our website listed below.